Little Canada is the name of a US town in Minnesota, but there happens to be a slightly different, smaller, and definitely more Canadian Little Canada in Toronto. It's a captivating, detailed, and immersive miniature world that brings the sights of Canada to life, but on a small scale. In this video, I'll take you through Little Canada, a place whose name sounds like it's an attraction for kids, but it actually offers just as much, if not more, entertainment for adults. There's cute little surprises, idiosyncrasies, and jokes embedded all over the displays, and the attention to detail is mind-boggling. The idea for Little Canada came from Jean-Louis Brennickmeijer, a Dutch-born entrepreneur who fell in love with Canada after moving here. After seeing a miniature Europe on display in Hamburg, Germany, he wanted to create a similar homage to Canada's vast beauty and diversity. With a team of model makers, artists, and engineers, he spent over a decade bringing this ambitious project to life. Little Canada opened in 2021 in downtown Toronto, right off Yonge Dundas Square, and steps away from the Dundas TTC station on Line 1. Admission is 36 Canadian dollars, which is about 25 US dollars for adults. But a variety of discounts are offered for students, seniors, kids, and even for new immigrants to Canada who've been granted permanent residence. The zones of Little Canada each have highly detailed, handcrafted miniatures of Canada's most iconic regions, landscapes, and cities. All the displays regularly cycle from daytime to night, revealing twinkling lights and new details. Although the scale of the landscapes and streets may be a bit compressed, almost all the models in Little Canada are built at HO, or 1 to 87th scale. But the CN Tower model would go through the ceiling if it was that scale, so it's shrunk a little bit further. You'll start at Little Niagara. This is a stunning recreation of Niagara Falls, complete with the flowing water, mist, and all the minute and entertaining details of the town's attractions. The Little East Coast brings together the 4 Atlantic provinces, from the sites of Newfoundland like Gros Morne National Park, to New Brunswick's tides at the Bay of Fundy, to Prince Edward Island, and across Nova Scotia. You'll move on next to Little Toronto, a bustling miniature version of Canada's largest city, featuring iconic landmarks like the CN Tower and the Rogers Centre. The details include tiny streetcars, subway trains, city lights, and even people enjoying life in the city. And if you want to go full meta, be sure to look out for Little Canada at Little Canada. You'll move on to the Little Golden Horseshoe. This area highlights the industrial heartland of Ontario, showcasing towns and industries that form the economic backbone of the region. Next up is Little Ottawa, a faithful representation of Canada's capital, complete with Parliament Hill, the Rideau Canal, and celebrations of Canadian history and culture. Next up, Petite Quebec captures the charm of Quebec City and its cobblestone streets, historic architecture, and vibrant culture. Petite Montreal was under renovation when I went, but it should be reopening soon. The Little West Coast is the last place you'll visit. The biggest installation in this region is Vancouver, of course, but it also includes lots of Pacific Coast sites like Victoria and a number of other islands as well. There's 3 new areas in the works that are soon to be opened. These include the Little Prairies, Little Rockies, and Little North. One area I particularly enjoyed was the Makers Workshop, where you can see the model makers in action and actually talk to them about their work. Although the employees throughout Little Canada were all super friendly, the woman we spoke to in the workshop was so enthusiastic and loved talking about the work she did. Now, of course, Little Canada has a gift shop, but one particularly unique gift you could buy was Littleization, where you can scan yourself to be turned into a tiny 3D printed figure to take home. And if you'd like, also have a tiny version of yourself placed in a location of your choice in the miniature world. So my verdict. Now, full disclosure, I was super skeptical before I arrived. I fully expected it to just be a gimmicky version of a child's Lego display tailored for kids that we'd walk through in 10-15 minutes. I was completely wrong. It was amazing, and I loved it. I even found a few real places that I now want to visit as a result of seeing them in miniature. Little Canada is definitely not a gimmick, but it's a beautiful and entertaining celebration of the country's spirit and natural beauty. Now, whether you're a lifelong Canadian or a visitor discovering the country for the first time, and any age from toddler all the way to senior citizen, I think you'll love your visit to Little Canada. The longer you look, the more little surprises you'll discover. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe is truly appreciated and helps me to continue the channel.